It's Saturday morning and we're narking out. Live on NARC-OUT-MANIA.
Yeah.
James and Zeus have watched the first 3 episodes of Narcos Mexico Season 3. And we'll have some thoughts about all the firings, what a state wrestling is in. We'll talk about it all live on NARC-OUT-MANIA.
Woo! Yeah, that was kind of hot, Pedro. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Oh, thank you. Hola, amigos, and welcome to the NARC-OUT-MANIA. I mean, NARC-OUT.
Oops.
We are celebrating Narcos Season 3.
Yes, sir.
To celebrate it, we got James the Extreme Sorno. How are you?
I'm doing good, my friend. I just came back from running from the border. I feel safe. I got all my cocaine ready for GCW. I'm ready.
and hey, we got the scholar with us doing his scholar work right now. The God of Thunder,
Professor Zeus King Dark.
How are you?
Good. I'm like you said, I am multitasking.
Hey,
you're multitasking, Professor King Dark.
And guess who's in the chat room?
Brian Bell, what's going on, buddy?
Brian Bell,
how you doing?
No.
And then Triple H will turn AEW to NXT 2.0.
It's funny. I see people fantasy booking Triple H leaving to AEW. I'm like, he's like married into this family. He's not going to go to AEW.
Yeah, and it's not even as simple as being released or leaving the company. There's going to be questions raised about how they talk about when you're like involved with two things in the same industry, because it's not like Stephanie can turn off being who she is in WWE,
Yeah.
So he's always going to hear inside things going on, and that's just never going to fly.
Yeah. And again, he's married into this family. Like he's given grandkids to this family.
Triple H gets a lot of shit, and a lot of it's well deserved, but he did wonders with NXT, him and Dusty at the time, and he was alive, and they did wonders with NXT, and now that Vince took it over, it's shit. But it will be interesting to fantasy book him in AEW. Why not?
No.
But there's one thing that needs to happen in the WWE for sure right now at this moment in time, where he once was the man has now become the detriment himself to the business. Vince McMahon needs to go because he for all the people that he let go, fired, didn't renew their contract, etc., or you could start a whole other promotion, and the range of talent and all the people that's been let go, my God, it's a who's who. It's ridiculous. Some of the people that got released alone this week is all head scratches.
Yeah, and it's they're at this point where. To me, what it sounds like, especially on the heels of what we found out about Ring of Honor,
right?
Is right now the market is absolutely flooded.
Yeah,
absolutely, and there are 125 people that aren't working for WWE that were working there in the last 2 years. So, releases and retirings and whatnot. But I mean, it's mostly been, releases. So, it's really, kind of crazy when you think about it. But I think we're going to see a lot of. I think there's going to be some people just going to find a different line of work. There's just too many. There's too many job. Too many workers, not enough jobs. Unless somebody else, unless we get another billionaire starting another company.
Brian Bell says these firings are business decisions, right? Something is being planned to pad the business side.
You're absolutely right, Brian. And I think it's more. I think it's getting ready for WWE to be sold. I think they're streamlining everything.
Sorry, I was laughing at something that was said. Can Marco Stunt find a new line of work first?
That's funny, yeah. Okay, him and Orange Cassidy, why not? But I think WWE is getting. I think the company is being streamlined so it can be sold either to NBC Universal, either to Disney, or whomever, Fox. It's being ready to be sold.
Hey James, you mentioned Orange Cassidy. There was something in one of Tony Khan's the Great TK's tweets the past day or so, where he was talking about one of the future shows, and he said something like, "Will Orange Cassidy join Chaos?"
Did you say join Chaos?
Yeah, like
as in New Japan Chaos?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm not making this up. This is not an invention by me.
Oh God, please! No, stop. Well, you know what's funny? I was scrolling late last night, and I found that New Japan Global on Twitter, because you know how they was always posting stuff. New Japan's always posting stuff. They were advertising Daniel Bryan and Rocky Romero match on AEW.
Yeah, they've been and they've been getting the footage from a lot of these matches on New Japan World too. Like all the stuff that they've done with in Impact, they end up I'm sure that like Suzuki's.
Yeah, Suzuki, that 6-man match is up along with Finjuice versus the Good Brothers.
I was watching a piece of that.
If WWE is sold, it's going to make UFC sell mild.
Well, yeah. I mean, Vince already got. Well, what started all this is it's a whole thing that Vince wanted to do the XFL again. So he sold off a lot of his stock, and a lot of the companies sold off this, pieces of that. And for the second time, the XFL was a bust. He just said, you know what? He saw how much money he can get, especially when he sold WWE Network to Universal and got $1 billion to put it on Peacock.
Yeah.
Boo.
And that right there just lit his eyes up,
Well, here's the thing. How many more years is he going to be around to enjoy this money?
Senile bastard. Did you see NXT this past week? He should stop booking fucking wrestling shows.
What happened on NXT this week?
You don't want to know. Some fucking idiot. He was dancing and singing to Shawn Michaels' "I'm a Boy" toy, "Sexy Boy." It was horrible.
Oh yeah, I put that in the group.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I watched NXT live, and I almost changed the channel for the first time in my life on NXT. And people were praising the segment. I was like, what? I was like,
people will praise anything. And like literally anything.
Well, like you guys said a couple of weeks ago, it's all tribalism now.
I mean, you remember I told y'all about the horrors of that Ruby Riott Penelope Ford match about 2 or 3 weeks ago. That some of the AEW fans were praising. AEW fans were praising this Britt Baker Abaddon match. That was like some kind of Halloween Rules match. I can't remember what the gimmick was. And they're saying, "Oh yeah, it was great." They're trying really hard, like all these mental gymnastics to defend the match. It was I mean, you should see how terribly they were botching and sloppy and fumbling and to just set up stunts. Like they're not even doing stuff; they're just setting up stunts, and
They
they're
were
fumbling
wrestling like I
set up
speak, full of
stunts.
stuttering.
And I was just like, oh, and people just praise anything.
Well,
They just,
I have to admit, I saw the Eddie Kingston CM Punk promo, and I was like, okay, all right. I was into that. And then they started like tussling with each other, and that's when I just said, you just ruined fucking 15-minute promo into this tussling with each other because they looked like they were swinging the slowest, softest shots at each other I've ever seen in my life.
hey,
I was like, Zero's mom hits harder than that. What are you doing?
damn. Hey, not for nothing, but like I feel like we're getting diminished returns on the CM Punk return because he just looks so old.
I don't know about all that, but Eddie Kingston told him, nobody wants you here. he said, nobody wants you here. How about if you go back, leave for another 7 years and don't come back?
But I mean, just look at him. He just
Yeah,
looks
he's
kind of scrawny
well,
and
that's what happens when you live straight edge. You have no preservatives in you.
Mexican preservatives, like
Yeah.
Mexican
Yeah, Mexican pharmaceuticals. Have a beer. It does a body good, for Christ's sake, you know?
Yeah, these WWE releases. I personally, I was not surprised by Keith Lee and
How can you not be surprised by Keith Lee, Pedro? That guy
Because-
could be the biggest guy. He could be one of the greatest big men in this generation right now. He does shit that nobody else does.
the way both Keith Lee and Karrion Kross were brought to the main roster, they were dead on arrival. You and
I agree. I
You
agree.
and I talked about it last year, didn't we? Yeah, we talked about it last year. We were like, what the hell are they doing with Keith Lee? They took away his song. They gave him like a different look, all this kind of stuff. We were like, what are they doing? Like, why are they messing this up? Like, he had a song that was
And he was over. Yeah, he was over. Yeah, the whole crowd would bask in my glory. You know, it was awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, if you think about I was not surprised at their releases. I knew it was coming at some point because they've just, I mean, the way they brought them up, it was like, oh, well, they're dead.
And they were just doing new vignettes with Karrion Kross.
But they did like a bunch of vignettes for Aleister Black, and then they let him go.
Yeah.
They even had him do a whole angle. He like kicked someone's head off, and then he was gone.
Yeah, it's really.
That tells me this. If they're doing vignettes like that, and then boom, they're getting released. If this ain't Nia Jax dates, to come back on November 15th, and then boom, she's getting released and stuff like that, then that tells me that WWE is not planning these things out. These are off-the-cuff decisions.
I mean,
like, you know what? I think we need to trim the fat. Ace everybody from here, like on this list, there's no thought being put into this.
I mean, if you go back to Bray Wyatt, right? Bray Wyatt was making so much money merch-wise for the company.
Yeah,
and they still let that guy go.
I don't know what's wrong with this.
I mean, people were buying those masks like crazy, and that that ugly $600 belt.
Zeus, you're right.
And let's I don't know if you guys saw it, but the Top Row Belt guys, they made a custom.
I saw that.
Yeah, that custom.
That shit looked hot, man.
Yeah, that was a custom Bray Wyatt belt.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice with the buzzards and the.
Yeah, it looked really good, man.
Yeah,
Pedro, here's my thing about Keith Lee. That man, his size, could do a lot of stuff that nobody can do in that ring. Okay, at their size, he could be one of the greatest big men of this generation. Okay, you have somebody who was already proven to be over. His gimmick was over. Okay, and you have him, you own him, you help. You groomed him in NXT. Yes, he was elsewhere before. Yes, he was over everywhere else he went before, especially on the West Coast. You use that and you bring him up, and because you tweak your character and it doesn't get over, and fucking Vince loses interest, you cut him. You don't do that.
James,
But-
I'm not talking about the potential or the ability of these people, but the way he was brought up, he was dead on arrival.
I agree. I don't argue that. I agree.
So to me, him being released is like a no-brainer. It was coming. Karrion Kross. Think about, I mean, you just think about what all they did. He jobbed to Jeff Hardy, then they put him in the weird gimp demolition mask, and then he's gone. Like, it makes the most sense. Like, if you think about the way they've been doing stuff, how is any of this surprising?
He was dressed like the gimp from Pulp Fiction.
See, here's the thing. Once again, and it's hard, when you look at somebody like this, but and when you combine that with how they've treated people historically, okay. So it's if you already came with a gimmick, they don't like that. They want to remake everybody, and just like Vader. They couldn't, they didn't remake him. I mean, they wanted to put Vader in a literal mastodon out. That's what Vince did.
Call him the Mastodon,
right, because that's what they called him in WCW. But he wanted to be. I'm like, that would have been the dumbest thing. And these bad gimmicks are just about career killers. I mean, look at when people remember Akeem instead of One Man Gang. It's ridiculous. And Cross is he's got his what we've come to know, the Killer Cross, the look and that kind of persona. He also had that, kind of persona at one point where he was kind of like a special forces soldier, kind of gone over the bend, and he had that with the crazy face paint, camo and stuff like that. And, of course we saw him as the White Rabbit in Lucha Underground. So, you're talking about a guy who's eloquent, intelligent, and he can do a whole lot of things, but he's just not I guess he's just not a Vince McMahon guy, which, it's kind of easy to see. It's, we all hope that, when people follow their dreams and end up in WWE, that good things happen, but none of this is incredibly shocking to me. But I mean, you had, they were doing great in NXT, and that's another problem, is if you're doing great in NXT, there's a good chance you're going to get squashed on the main roster anyway. Yeah. I mean,
well, that's one of the main reasons why Adam Cole went to AEW instead of going to the main roster, because Vince offered him a spot on the main roster. He said no. He said he seen what everybody became on, everybody that got called up or got squashed. And, I mean, if you're going to do that to Keith Lee, Adam Cole's got no chance in hell of surviving on the main roster. A small guy like that,
There's an In Your House card on that WWE Slam earlier this year with Adam Cole, and I came across it the other day on my WWE Slam, and I was like, he just looks like the most average body dude, like with his arms in the air, and I was like, yeah, this is why this dude is not was not gonna make it in the main roster. He's not much of a physical specimen.
I mean, but from what I read, they're calling up a shitload of people from NXT, whether they're ready or not.
Call them up.
Yeah.
Gargano and Gargano and that who's the dude used to be in
Kyle O'Reilly. He was
they
part
were
of a
on the-
Redragon, yeah.
Yeah, they were in the dark match before SmackDown.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly's another one, just like Adam Cole. He's a small dude with an average body, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty generous calling him average.
right. Well, but I mean, like, okay, Johnny Gargano is tiny, right? But
but he's got charisma. He could be saved because because if Vince's eye, he provides entertainment.
If you look at his body, he's like lean and cut, right? Like okay, Kyle O'Reilly is a smaller dude who has just an average, like any kind of person body. Is not going to get over with that main roster.
No. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of these guys, I mean, it's just, I don't know what happened to WWE. I really don't. I don't know. It's just, has Vince lost his marbles? I think in my eyes, I think it's already done. I mean, it's if you want to sell the company, then okay, fine. Hey, this is your company. You can do whatever the hell you want with it.
Well, I mean, and it doesn't bother me because I've hated him, for almost 40 years. So
there you go, sir. Vince
it's not been. It's been a 90% steaming pile of crap. For the pretty much the length of the existence that I've known it, and with 10%, flashes of brilliance and things.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There have been times where WWF was, I mean, it was must see TV at one point.
I mean,
it was also only CTV at one point.
That is true. That is true.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all know I definitely, when I was growing up, I preferred WWF over other stuff.
And we don't hold that against you, Pedro. We should.
We should, but we don't.
We don't. You're our friend.
But
I can't believe how hot I'm trying to get right now. We're fucking Tony Khan at Orange Cassidy joining Chaos. Just smack Tony Khan. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Pedro.
I can find that.
No, please. I don't want to read it.
Okay, it was 7 hours or so ago. He said Wednesday night on TNT is Bryan Danielson versus Rocky Romero. Is Orange Cassidy in Chaos? Find out Wednesday night live.
Oh my God! I need a Carter to go on New Japan TV and shut that shit down.
To me, the surprising one was Nia Jax because she's The Rock's cousin. She seemed bulletproof because she's injured everyone under the sun. Charlotte, Bayley, Becky ended Becky likely ended the in-ring career of Kairi Hojo. She injured Zelina Vega. She injured a bunch of people. There's more than that. She's injured a lot of people.
Yeah, but if she hadn't socked Becky in the mouth and created that image for her,
Becky would have never took off like that.
Yeah. So it's like, she, but remember what they did with Keith Lee? They sent him down to.
But Keith Lee was not The Rock's cousin who was protected, like, despite being terrible in the ring and doing all this stuff. Like,
I know, but I mean, they remember they tried to retrain Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, they've never done that to Nia Jax.
And you know what's weird? James may remember this. There was a point Nia Jax was fairly decent in NXT. Like,
she was.
Bayley got more than one good match out of her in NXT. Asuka Kana, she got a good match out of her in NXT.
Well, also you got to remember too, but back then, Pedro, they won a lot of NXT NXT wasn't traveling the way it does now. So it was, I'm talking about pre-pandemic.
Right.
So they were concentrating on skills, on in-ring stuff all the time because it was all based out of Orlando. All the house shows were always all over Florida, so it was no real traveling. The main roster, you're traveling, so there's no work in the ring. There's no this or that. You got to find a hotel, you got to rent a car, drive for 8 hours, do this, do that. So it's a little different on the main roster. And I personally think that she lost the benefit of being around the NXT trainers and the people help her in the ring, help her get better. Has she learned how to work with smaller individuals?
But here she was on the main roster for years, still injuring people. I mean, most of her injuring was on the main roster, not in NXT.
Exactly. That's because she's constantly around people showing her.
So on the main roster, she's been injuring all these people. Nothing was ever happening to her. Occasionally, they made her disappear every so often, but other than that, nothing happened to her. And then now, out of nowhere, she's gone, which makes you wonder, like, if you're Charlotte Flair, is this like a thing like, oh, look, you're not as protected as one may think?
Yeah. Well, I think Charlotte's trying to get fired anyway, in my book, but But
I mean, in terms of like being a shame, of course, like Keith Lee is a shame because I mean, he should have been a surefire thing.
He should have been WWE champion. That could have been the guy that dethroned Brock Lesnar.
Hey, do you remember? Was it like 2 years ago or so?
The Royal Rumble.
No, Survivor Series.
Oh, Survivor Series.
It was down to him and Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
and the crowd was going nuts. And
Keith Lee. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns won, but everyone was like, "Whoa, you got to bring him up right now." He wasn't even the NXT champion at that point.
Yeah, he was already over. And I just don't get it. Because Vince's ego is a detriment to his own product, Oh, what, the fans want this? Screw them. I'll give them that instead. That's what he's all about. He's always been like that.
Ember Moon is a shame because she's so good,
Yeah, she's a great worker. She's a great worker.
I can kind of understand in that she is injury prone, and I could see. I'm not saying I would make these decisions, but I could see someone making that argument, right?
Yeah, but she's the type of person where even if she's injury prone, Pedro, she is a plus in your company and in the women's locker room because she can help the younger women coming up, cut promos, work on characters, in-ring stuff, because she's a great worker. She knows how to cut a promo, and she's great with character work. She could easily transition into a trainer.
If Ember Moon is gone, I mean, Dakota Kai doesn't have that much longer to go, in my opinion.
That bitch is a talking spear. I mean, look at her. Jesus.
But Dakota Kai and Ember Moon are like sort of the same in terms of, I don't mean the same gimmick or the same, things, but they're the same in terms of being people who can lead others to good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
they're pushing now NXT? The Usos' younger brother.
Who's their younger brother? I don't.
No, the Usos' younger brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I
forgot his name. I forgot his name that they're giving him, but he's the Usos' younger brother by a few years. I mean, he looks just like the Usos.
No.
He looks just like them, but he's not a twin. But he looks just like them. But he's built a bit better. Like he's built. He's thick.
He's thick.
He's thick. But he's good. He's good.
We can go through that list. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to. I'm just saying you can go through
that list
and just you can bring up a lot of names and be like, oh, that's crazy. That's it.
Well, since a lot of these wrestlers no longer are employed, maybe my boy Amato can, hire some of them as muscle. You know what I'm saying, Zeus?
That's right. He can pay it. He can pay him too.
Yeah, he can afford it. That big house that's being built for them. He's such a dick. He goes, I don't like it. Change the whole front. He's fucking brutal. That guy.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, just tear it all down.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's so funny, man. That you want to transition into Narcos season?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, the James and Zeus are gonna get you all into the Narcos thing. I'm gonna step out for a moment. So,
all right. So
finally, Narcos season 3 fucking started.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty good because I mean, season 2, just ended, last year.
Yeah, but we were all desperate for another one to come quicker. We was wondering if it was going to happen fast, and it did. So you know how you anticipate a season. You're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I was like, it was so good that it started finally.
Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, because it was February of last year. So we had to wait like a year and a half. But
it was long, but it was. I mean, it was definitely worth it. I mean, as Zeus and I agreed to only watch the first 3 episodes, and that's what's killing me the most. I don't know about you, but that's killing me because I wanted to watch episode 4 right away.
Oh yeah. Well, after today, you can go ahead and watch the next 3 or 4. Yeah.
But I like the way they're setting it up already. How about you?
Yeah. The they take these different aspects from the historical, and we now have the reporter girl.
Yeah, she's gonna get punched in the face if she keeps leading with that chin. Okay.
And
I swear to God, somebody's gonna deck her.
Yeah, and we got Walt's back. He's he's trying to find out, find his place. And
that man looks like a tortured soul, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. He's definitely he's definitely rode hard, put up wet. And I'm telling you, I think that originally Rafa invested in making the wrong cash crop. I really think they should try to figure out how to make better tobacco. Because 99% of the people, including old women and small children, and I'm exaggerating there, but they all smoke cigarettes constantly.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody smokes. I mean,
remember the wedding scene in episode 2? Everybody had a cigarette in their mouth.
Yes, yeah, everybody smoked, and we're still talking. This is the very early 90s.
Yeah.
And so it's
speaking about that wedding scene, Zeus, how about El Chapo? He comes in with funeral flowers as a gift.
Yeah,
like he got these from a funeral home.
Probably, Chapo is he's a different kind of a person. I think he's like there's some things like he doesn't understand at all, like what an appropriate wedding gift would be. I mean,
he doesn't have any etiquette.
Yeah, he's not up on that.
No, at all.
But but then he built that tunnel. They built a tunnel in season 2, and so they just he's just.
But you know what? I'm digging Anando so far in season 3 because the model is brutal. I mean, the way he shot The way he shot his partner, I mean, he just walked into the bar. Everybody looked at him. He pulled out a gun. He just gave everybody looks at him like everybody fell back. And he shot him in the chest and he shot him in the face.
And then he just walked out.
Then he walked right out, cool and calm.
They know who the patron is, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's badass, man. I like Amato. He's badass. And that guy, now, I was wondering, actually, where they're going to go with this cop, Victor?
Yeah, it's interesting because.
So it looks like he's going to be he's going to be the CI for Walt, I think, if it plays out the way it plays out.
He could be. He seems really, he seems kind of torn and everything. So, but
I like the way it's going so far. I mean, I like him. I like the way the series is going. And the first 3 episodes were good. And the wife, man, I felt so bad for the wife. She was like, he couldn't find a husband after the shootout at the club.
Yeah.
After they come home and and then she's looking for the husband in the cars. Yeah. And then she just sits down and says, "I want their fucking heads, all of them." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. I mean, she's
no joke.
Yeah. And they, that whole thing with the, the whole Ariano family, they're, they really, you can see that they're really starting to get drunk on the power.
Yeah.
They really, they're taking as much, advantage as much as possible of their plaza, geography, and that's it's just like Felix was telling Walt at the end of the other season. He's like, this is it's going to be okay at first, and then it's going to break down because they, without me there, to keep everybody in line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was right too. He was right. Well, this is where El Chapo starts to step up because he said he's just watch. He's going to, because he said let's take the desert. Fuck asking for it.
Right.
Yeah,
and who's that new guy? Oh, Mayo.
Yeah.
Mayo, he's an interesting character in all this too.
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, they're beautiful shooting.
I love the production of this show. It's great, man.
It's always been just fantastic, and it's like they find the most amazing looking people in almost every role. It's like, are you good looking? Yes. Can you act? All right. Well, come on, let's be on this show.
Yeah.
There's so many good looking people.
And the way these actors look, they fit their role. They look haggard in some, or they look rich. They look the part too. It's good,
Yeah.
I mean, that cop Victor looks like he's been through hell. He looks beat up. He looks like he's tired of just like shaking down kids for money in the street.
Yeah, and he kind of reminds me, like he is somebody that, Felix could have been like him.
Yeah.
If he hadn't have been so smart and ambitious and everything, he wouldn't have, he could have ended up, like Felix, trying, like Victor and trying to make ends meet, and like you said, you're shaking down kids and probably tourists and things like that. Pay up the chain and stuff like that. So, but
he was like, he shook down that guy for a busted taillight. That was funny, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, you know. But I agree with you 100% on the way like the whole look of it, man. The way it's shot beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shot beautifully. It just looks like you feel like you're walking in sand the whole time you're watching it because you can feel the sand on your clothes and the dirt on your boots, you know?
Yeah. The way it makes me feel like almost like everyone's like golden, you know, like
Yeah.
there's a like there's almost an actual, you know, mineral quality or kind of a liquid metallic golden quality to people in their skin tones and things. It's a really well done. And I mean just this whole series, grabbed me from the first time I watched it. And it's funny too because I came in late
Mhm.
and I watched Mexico first.
Oh, you
And
didn't even watch the original Narcos first?
no, I watched the first two seasons of
Oh,
Mexico, and then
nice.
I went. You're right, and then I went back and watched, with Pablo, and then the Cali Cartel,
Yeah.
and that's another nice thing is to seeing more Pacho Herrera because once again he's another amazing character and
Mhm.
great actor and he he's pretty funny. I mean
Yeah.
he's got it all going on. I mean he's such a good character and such a great actor. Uh, you know,
Well, the acting in this series is all top notch. All the all the acting in the series is it's I mean so top notch. And not for nothing, but with all the shitty wrestling that's been thrown at us lately, I've been looking forward to this. You know.
right? Oh yeah, absolutely been looking forward to this.
I'm like, let's see here. Do I watch this shit or do I watch Narcos? No brainer. you
Yeah.
know, I watch
Um,
AEW. No, Impact. Forget it.
Yeah, don't watch Impact. Watch Narcos.
yeah,
uh,
yeah. No, I watched 5 minutes of Impact. I changed the channel the other night. It was
there was they had there was a production scout, location scout was killed in 2017.
For
really. I didn't hear
Narcos?
about
Or,
that. Really, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it says one of the Carlos Munoz Portal was found murdered with multiple gunshot wounds
oh,
on
Holy
dang.
shit!
September 2017 in central Mexico near uh,
Narcos got real.
Calapa. Yeah,
Well,
so,
that's yeah. That's when art imitates life, or vice versa. You know.
right. Yeah, because they think it might have been a gang. It might have been
Yeah.
gang or narco.
Well, you know what I'm saying, Zeus. Hey, all that cocaine money and everything like that. I mean, they should start their own wrestling promotion since all the wrestlers been released. I mean, they go up against GCW.
Well, here's the thing.
GCW for good cocaine wrestling. Perfect.
Right, but here's the thing: is even in the 80s and the 90s, we had UWA, CMLL,
Yeah.
CMLL, the AAA was about to be born, right around that time too, right?
Hmm.
And so I think if the Narcos had wanted to get in on pro wrestling or lucha libre, they would have done it long before then. So
Yeah.
apparently that's been a hands off thing, but it's like I found, I think a lot of people from Mexico, really love lucha libre, and then there's a whole bunch more that really love football.
Yeah.
So
Soccer.
I think, yeah. So I think that kind of ended
Football.
up. I think
Fucking
I think
Pedro.
it was
Ball foot.
right,
It
but I
stands
mean,
for American football.
right, but
God
it's
damn
like
it, people.
the drug lords from Colombia were really out in the open about their the teams that they own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
If I'm trying to remember what year it was. It's in the last 7 or so years. There was a game in the Liga MX, and I'm trying to remember who it was between, but the game basically halted because a whole shootout started in the crowd, like with bombs and
Well,
and all this stuff. Like you can find the footage of this on YouTube. Like the whole television broadcast just stops. Like
it's funny that you guys both mentioned this because wasn't there a football game where one of the teams, I think it was owned or partially owned by Colombian drug lord or whatever, and the guy was supposed to kick to win, and he missed the kick, and he ended up being
no,
dead for missing the kick.
okay, that was the World Cup in '94.
Oh, okay, World Cup. Okay, I'm sorry.
There's a player, and he his last name was also Escobar, but he ended up he did an own goal accidentally.
Oh, okay,
And
that's what it was. Okay.
yeah, and so Colombia was highly touted for the World Cup in '94 because they had such good form going into the World Cup. So, like, I don't know if y'all remember. Of course, I will remember this, but I don't know if y'all remember this. The Colombian team was on a bunch of ads, like soda commercial ads and stuff, leading up to the World Cup in '94, because it was the one here in the USA. So they had ads. You might remember, like, one of them had like a really curly kind of blonde afro and a mustache. He was on a bunch of stuff, and so this guy, he accidentally did an own goal, and it kind of started the bad fortune for the team, and they didn't make the knockout rounds. And so and then within a year or so later, he was dead. He got shot.
That's some shit. I mean, look, I don't mean to laugh, but that's some shit,
There's a very good ESPN documentary about that. So,
and it's another thing. It's kind of funny. It's like
it was Amado. He did it, Zeus. It was Amado. That was him.
Right. There was a lot of corruption in the like the American Football League in The Last Boy Scout. And that's a '90s movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that. Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Yeah, and Damon Wayans, and they were talking heavily about the drug use and the all that bad shit that was going on, and but yeah, it's like it's actually soccer that's the scary.
I mean, that's always been the case, like from hooligans and stampedes and all kind of things.
Yeah.
Match
almost makes Narcos Mexico season 3 look tame. Oh my god! The funny thing is when his plane went down and he was being arrested by the federale, the guy his plane was up in smoke, and a guy and a Mondo serves to the federale who's placing him under arrest. He tries to bribe him. He was like, "There's $70,000 in this car. Oh, and if you want, you can still have my plane back there. It's up in smoke and blowing up and shit." That shit was funny. He's just a wise ass.
Yeah, and they said he burned the money.
Yeah, he burned the money. Yeah.
Jeez.
So is since I haven't seen Narcos any of the seasons, is this fictional or is it fictionalized based on?
It's fictionalized based on real characters.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
you have Pablo Escobar's in it.
Yeah. Okay. And
You have
Pablo
El
Escobar and El
Chapo.
Chapo. Okay, those are real
Mhm.
people. Is this
Right.
Amato guy? Is he real or is he a fictional
Yes.
character based on someone?
Well, I mean, everybody's kind of based on somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Amato is based on somebody. I don't know if his name is Amato, but he's based on, I forgot the guy's name. But he's supposed to be ruthless like Amato is, because Amato's ruthless.
Yeah, Amado Carrillo Fuentes was a Mexican drug lord.
There you go.
Yeah, and he's the one that became the boss of the Juarez Plaza.
Mm-hmm. So they're based on they're real people. Now but probably a lot of it's fictionalized, or enhanced to make it look good on TV.
Yeah, but
Right.
like the actor Diego Luna, right?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's his character.
That's Felix.
Yeah, Felix is a real guy as well, and
he's not going to make an appearance at all in season 3. I hope he does.
I don't know. He might be in a flashback or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think he was originally supposed to be in it, but I think with everything else that was happening, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a good show, Pedro. If you ever get the chance to watch it, you should watch it from the beginning. Watch Narcos, then Narcos Mexico.
The Diego Luna and the actor that plays Pablo Escobar, Wagner Moura.
Yeah, he was in Elysium.
Yeah, they're both in Elysium.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Very good, Zeus. Yeah.
Yeah, and that movie's heavily ripped off of Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah. Straight rip off, actually.
Yeah, it took a lot. I mean, that kind of selling your soul to that's another one of those old, it's an old trope. But I mean, where you're trying to save up and somebody's trying to get you somewhere where it's impossibly impossibly good, but that you're never going to get there.
Hey, Pedro, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Did you like the theme song to Narcos? I thought it's right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
Would you say it had bossa nova chords?
Bossa nova, yeah.
Yeah.
It has kind of bossa nova chord changes, so.
Because that guitar is perfect. I'm like, oh my God, look, it's Pedro.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the cool thing is like every episode is 10 episodes.
Yeah,
but they're quite long. I mean, they're like a lot of them are like 45 minutes to an hour straight.
Yeah, they're not short, no.
So I mean, that's like, that's because what's a regular hour TV show? 40
yeah, like 38, 40 minutes, depending. Yeah. But know the thing about both Narco series, they don't have like 7 seasons or 8 seasons, just like 3 seasons each, and that's it.
Yeah, we'll see how this one is.
This is the last one, right?
I mean, supposedly, but I mean, if it, say stuff like that, if it's
until Narcos Miami. No,
yeah, who knows, right? Exactly.
On the noted drug lord, never mind.
That's
Senor Sorno.
Senor Sorno. Like, kill all those wrestlers. I don't like the way they don't sell. Eliminate them.
Oh, we have to report back to the boss, Senor Janela. cocaine wrestling.
What? No. Kill Orange Cassidy. I don't like that name.
I don't like
Bury him. Who came up with that gimmick? First kill him, then fire him.
You would think he was some kind of ant before. Yeah. The guy, Orange Cassidy, was a fire ant in Chikara Pro.
Fire ant. Oh, thank God. It's Orange Cassidy. And and the second coming, Darby Allin, everybody sweats this guy. Another one is like needs to get like why? I don't know.
Yeah, Impact Wrestling. I saw some of that yesterday, which was a bad decision. That was something.
I didn't get to watch NXT UK this morning, Pedro. So I apologize for that.
No.
I wanted to talk about that match. I wanted to talk about that main event match.
Well, you know the thing. So okay, I saw this match. I don't know how long ago it was, but I saw this match from Impact. It was between Deonna Purrazzo and Su Yung, and it had some kind of gimmick rules to it. Okay, but it was, imagine two people kind of slowly setting up some stunt spots, and like including like Su Yung telegraphing she's going to do the mist, and then she stands there waiting, and Deonna Purrazzo takes her time to lift up a blank canvas, like if I was going to make a painting, a blank canvas. So she lifts up a canvas. So then Su Yung blows the mist all over the canvas. Then she breaks the canvas over Su Young's head. And it was just all this like very slow setting up of things. And then like when they were doing like the wrestling part, like they were doing stuff with the submissions, and they were just like fumbling. They were struggling. It wasn't like a struggle like you and I are like, I'm trying to put something on you and you're struggling to keep me from doing it. It was like they're fumbling to get into position to put this and put that. It was so bad. It was so bad. I was like, people, how did this girl get this reputation, Deonna Purrazzo? Like, I remember her when she was the Ferrari girl on NXT, the jobber.
Yeah.
And I remember her on some of the other stuff she's done, but like, I don't remember her being this bad.
That's why people should watch New Japan, because they can actually appreciate actual holes in wrestling. And actually what a setup hold is supposed to do, what they look like, and like how it's supposed to affect them, the pacing and storytelling of a match.
Well, but
I digress.
So besides that, there was also something I saw was Chris Sabin versus some dude with purple hair. You said it was Ace Austin. Is that what you said his name was?
I think it was, yeah, some shit.
I don't know who he is, but some dude with purple hair, and that was just, it was like anything you'd see on those YouTube AEW shows, just sloppy rush stuff. And I saw this junk, and I was just like, oh, it's just a bunch of crap, and it's like filmed like so bad. The production levels are so shit. It's like Bean and I got together and we filmed it with our cell phones or something. It's the production levels. And if you think the production levels are bad on when they're showing you the wrestling, when they do the backstage vignettes and promos and stuff, it's even worse. Like it's so bad. It's so bad.
It's bad.
So bad. Hey, Zero's in the chat.
Zero, what's up, buddy? How the hell are you?
Zero, you say Deonna is a wrestler. She is a terrible at character work. Su Yung is far more character, and it just clashes. I'm here to tell you, Deonna, whatever she was before, is a terrible wrestler now. She cannot work for shit, and Su Yung is just slow and at everything.
Well, you guys got to remember something too. Like, not everybody look, I can easily adapt to the company's style. The perfect example, RVD. I mean, because it's noted that he had trouble adjusting to the WWE style. I mean, it took him a while.
But
because he wrestled for the WWE, like the way the WWE, actually wanted him to wrestle, and he struggled. He looked horrible in the ring. So he got it right.
But I feel like RVD's always had a fairly good formula working for him. He's got these. He had this arsenal of spots that no one but him could do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he had this unique stuff that only he could do. And he maybe wasn't so great with the whole ring general kind of stuff, but with the right people, you just make the things to plug in his spots, and the matches like explode, right? They just pop.
Yeah,
like that's kind of his best formula from ECW to WWE.
Well, it also helps to have a Jerry Lynn in your corner too.
But I think everybody was kind of all working toward that same thing in ECW. It's like everybody knows what the other one's wants to do, and based on where you are, they didn't do stuff in ECW like give unusually long amounts of time to mid card stuff most of the time. I mean, stuff kind of had a pretty good flow. So, you kind of knew it's like, okay, well, we got to get, we're going to do this, and this. And, everybody wants to see, Balls Mahoney swing a chair at least one time. And,
oh, man, God bless Balls Mahoney.
Right. So.
Well, I'll watch NXT UK sometime today. Hopefully I can watch them.
Well, what I was leading up to, so I saw that junk, right, for the Impact junk. And then later, last night, I watched NXT UK from Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And so you had like Rampage Brown versus Flash Morgan Webster. And it was like just a spectacular beating.
Yeah.
Like, wait till you see, if you see it, James, wait till you see like the marks left on Flash Morgan Webster's back. He's just got, he just gets torn up. And then, the main event, Meiko Satomura versus Jenny, that match was good. And one of the things that got me was
Jenny held her own in the ring.
Oh yeah, but the thing that got me was seeing, like after watching terrible stuff, then seeing people like with such good execution of stuff, people selling things, all that kind of stuff. There is a whole deal with the way they went for pins in that match. They both did stuff for leverage that made like logical sense, like where they're putting themselves in positions where they would like trying to put all their weight down against the other person to hold them down.
Oh wait, you mean that they didn't stop, bounce off the ropes, come back, stop, and then drop to their knees and kiss somebody in the cheek?
Well, but you know how like people will just go for like lazy covers and stuff, like
it
happens all the time, like in every promotion we can think of. And then here they're like putting all this, like they're trying to hold they're doing stuff to give the impression, right? Like I know it's all work, but they're trying to give you the impression they're trying to hold the other person down. Like one point Jenny had one leg hooked, and then the other leg with her arm, and then the other leg she wrapped her legs around Meiko's other leg and did some deal to try to hold her down. And there is another deal where Meiko like went for a cover and put like kind of an arm bar or whatever as she's putting the thing, and then she's kind of got her butt in the air thing going on, trying to put all this pressure, this weight down on the shoulders.
Yeah.
There are lots of little things like that where you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there is
I'll try to catch it sometime today.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the finish, but there's a deal with the finish where I think the planned finish got slightly misfired, and they went immediately into a whole other thing and improv the finish. And I was like, oh, it seemed natural and made sense. So it was nice to see that after watching terrible.
I had SmackDown on last night as background noise. I don't know why I had it on. I don't know. It just ended up on my TV. And I was like, oh, like really? Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Only thing I saw from SmackDown was everyone was putting that clip of Ricochet getting hit with the Claymore in midair. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. It was good. Okay, and but actually, I was more interesting.
That's the only thing I saw is that one clip.
I mean, the only thing that finds me like I was semi interested. This whole thing was going on with Naomi and
Sonya?
yeah, there's Sonya Deville. How she said, I fast counted Naomi because have you ever seen Naomi more ready to attack? Have you ever seen like I'm trying to bring her best out, and like this is the way I'm doing it. And then she pinned Shayna Baszler, and then out comes what's her name? She restarts the match again, and then Baszler got the pin, and I don't know what's going on now, but I found that kind of interesting. I'm like, okay, if this leads to something, okay, like if it's a payoff, okay, but I wasn't feeling the whole thing with the Usos and the New Day. I'm like, how many times do we need to see this? But it's a little different now because with King, King Xavier Woods and this and that, and it's a little different. But like how many times do we need to see this? Just
wrestling's in that place.
I wanted to see Charlotte Flair, but I don't think she was on there yesterday. Not I missed it.
I have no idea. What about New Japan had a show today? I haven't seen it. I haven't
seen it either.
I saw a spoiler. We got new IWGP US champion.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Kenta beat Tanahashi?
Apparently, yeah. And,
really?
There's another new?
Yeah, the Never 6-man champions.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, House of Torture.
So,
really?
Evil?
Yeah.
Juice Robinson is going to tell us about Evil. No, I'm joking. Yoshihashi finally lost his
one title. I'm sure he cuddled with it all last night. The night before.
Man, wow.
Is the tag league starting up soon?
Next week, tag league and Best of Super Junior.
That should be. Well, I don't know how interesting it could be because I don't know if they're letting people in, right? Or no?
Actually, I saw where somebody was saying that they are allowing people for short business trips and.
Really?
Yeah.
So that might work.
So, I mean, we were kind of talking about that, in the chat. I mean, of course, you got the champs, Dangerous Techers.
Your boys.
Yeah, we got and we got
fucking Gumby and Touchy.
Touchy.
And then we got of course the Gorillas of Destiny, Cobb and Great O'Con are there. But there's no way you can field a team from Los Ingobernables because Shingo's the champion. He's the world champion. Right. Naito's hurt.
Naito's there. He's down. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bushi and
Hiromu.
are going to be in Best of Super Junior.
Oh wow. No Los Ignorables.
Nope.
So there might be like Chase Owens and the General, Fale.
Oh, for a moment when you said the General, I thought of the insurance commercial dude, the guy.
He said the General. I thought of Walter.
Go to the General and save some time.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that Narcos theme song. It's awesome.
I wish the participants in both those things was out, because that would be great to talk about. But we can't. Like, when we find out, when we're on here next week, it'll already have the first round already have
taking place. Yeah. Can you imagine the teams that with all the talent that's all been released between WWE and Ring of Honor, all the teams that can go into tag league and really make it something special?
Yeah.
I mean, the Briscoes, you could bring them over. I mean, you could bring, shit.
I mean, you could possibly, but I don't. They may be finagling a place for, in GCW for now.
Oh yeah, that good cocaine wrestling. Yeah.
That good cocaine.
Hit me with a lightsaber. It's okay. I don't feel anything. I'm on 2 ounces of blow. Stab me with the scissors. I'm good. I just stepped the line.
Yeah. Let's not forget. What's Kushida's tag team partner name?
Oh, what is his name?
Oh, doing in NXT now?
Yeah. Something.
Oh, you're the guy with the jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah, but only in WWE would they call 2 guys dressed in actual wrestling singlets and headgear Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Because we actually have to pretend to be actual wrestlers in.
Boy, let me tell you this: Vince has got the jetpack, Jetson style, strapped on the Braun Breaker's back, because he's getting massive push, massive with an M.
Oh,
massive. Yeah. And the crowd's eating it. I swear to God, he sounds just like Scott Steiner.
He does. It's very much like.
Mm-hmm. It's scary.
Yeah.
And, the whole crowd does the dog pound thing.
Yeah, and I mean it's so weird. It's like he's the he's not Scott's son. He's Rick's son.
Yeah.
But he seems so much more like Scott to me.
What are you implying, Zeus?
He's passed out by steroids.
Soap opera lives.
He's my father's uncle's brother's sister's mother's father's uncle's kid, not yours. What? How dare she, the traveling whore?
Right?
I haven't seen the traveling whore lately. Did she show up on Impact? I heard she was on Impact, right?
I didn't watch all of that, but
yeah, she's apparently doing something.
I saw some post of her on social media around Halloween. Like I can't remember what her costume was.
Whore?
No.
As opposed to traveling whore. I'm a traveling whore by day. I'll just be a regular whore for Halloween.
Damn it, James.
Damn it, James.
My God.
Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a comedian.
You're not going to be on the show.
Yeah.
NARC-OUT-MANIA been canceled.
NARC-OUT-MANIA got canceled. I got called a
sorry,
whore.
everyone.
I got called a whore. He knew what I was, but he said it alive.
We're lucky we have only like no viewers at the moment. So.
I know. Can you imagine if we had like 1 million viewers? I would have got canceled. Like, forget about it.
We have 0 viewers. No.
I think Zero still canceled me because his mom won't.
Oh, damn. Zero, you must retort to this.
Zero! We got to have Zero on the show so we can do another X-Men joint.
Yeah. Well, if they ever come out with another movie.
Well, I'm hearing all these crazy rumors about now. You have Xavier, how they're going to bring him back in, and But so what? You're going to ignore Fox's Logan? Are you going to ignore that whole storyline? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
Short answer,
yes.
Yes, yeah. Everything is not canon here in the MCU.
Yeah, you would have to do like a MCU X-Men.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to play it,
Isn't that Eternals thing supposed to be coming out sometime?
It's out already, but there's a little spoiler I would love to give.
Okay.
But I don't know if I can. Are you guys excited to watch Eternals or no? I can give a spoiler.
I'm not going to watch it. We know that I regularly don't watch these movies, so
okay.
But
apparently,
Zeus, I don't know about Zeus.
I hope it. I would like to see it eventually.
All right, so then I won't say anything.
It's not.
So you don't want spoilers?
I mean, I don't know how much it could really spoil me.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it anyway.
Oh,
all right. So no. It's only because it pertains to something that all of us want to see.
Okay.
Okay. So apparently, supposedly, it's being reported that at the end of the second post-credit scene, right, there's a voice. Because after one of the characters, he picks up a sword, and he supposedly starts to become Black Knight. Apparently, there's a voice. It's heard, but it's heard, but you don't see the character off screen because he's not shown. Apparently, the voice says, "Are you sure you want to pick that up and get into this?" Apparently, that voice belongs to Mahershala Ali. Apparently, they're supposed to be Blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it's Mahershala Ali's voice.
Blade entering the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Because all of us know that Morbius is coming out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he already fucked up Fox's canon, because he mentioned he showed the Vulture, and he mentions Venom. So we'll see how this wacky whole thing plays out. So Zero, if you're still listening, you got to come on the show so we could talk X-Men. Yeah, I guess he's not.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
not.
I guess he's canceled. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm canceled in Zero's world. Yeah, canceled.
We're all canceled right now. That's
all right. I'll just take it out on his mom.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Second canceling.
Oh. Hey, you started this a long time ago.
Yeah, so Ring of Honor, everyone is released.
Yeah. You're fired.
You got all these people released from the WWE. AEW can't take everyone.
No.
I mean, something I think will be interesting. I'm just gonna call it that this is going to happen. Okay. So sometime in the next year, either the next 6 to 12 months, some people's contracts are going to be coming up from the start of AEW, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to see some people get released.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can't have, like, I mean, they have 1 million people as it is now. They can't have all these people. They're not using everyone as it is. It's just, I mean, you have YouTube shows with like 27 matches. I'm exaggerating, but
barely exaggerating.
So when AEW has to do a mass release or a mass firing in the future, if they do it in mass or if they stagger it out, will there be any outrage, or will it just be like, oh yeah, they have to?
For who?
By the fans, by everyone.
I don't think there'll be outrage, only because I don't see AEW doing a mass exodus of people at one time.
So
but just like you said, yeah, but it's like you said, there's going to be a lot of contracts coming up. I'm sure a lot of it, being that the way WWE is now, and there's no more Ring of Honor, at least for the foreseeable future, and Impact going in the direction they're going, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these guys take less of money just to stay on. Whereas, I'm just going to get my out-and-out release, and I'm going to go elsewhere to apply my trade, but there's no other place really to go these days now. So yeah, that kind of money you were getting, once getting. So, I also wouldn't be surprised if AEW cuts a few people to sign a lot more bigger names. I'll cut 2 Joey Janela's for 1 Keith Lee. So, I wouldn't be surprised if like I see a lot of that,
Well, and, like I said, they can't pick up everybody.
No. No, it'd be impossible.
I mean, they can't even pick up half of these people. I mean, some of these guys might want to get together, and I mean, somebody's going to benefit from this, or a lot.
Jesus, isn't this how AEW really got started in the first place? Right? Because it was a group of wrestlers who said, "Hey, listen, they don't have a place to go. So how about we create our own?" And with Dust and Cody Rhodes and the Bucks with the All In, and that became the genesis for AEW. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something else like that happens on a smaller scale at first.
I mean, you're talking about people who were in Ring of Honor and New Japan.
Yeah.
Being like, "Oh, we got something over. We're over. Let's abandon Ring of Honor and New Japan and start something completely different." So not quite the way you painted it, James.
I understand that, but it's I don't know. I won't be surprised if I see something like that pop up. Hey Zero, I actually like MLW. I don't know if they can get like really good. They got some good stuff going on. Some of the matches I was watching, did they need some serious work? Like you're like, no, oh no. You have, first of all, you got to start by taking the chick out of the first row. That chick got to go. But MLW's not bad.
Is she still dressing the same, James?
I don't know. But
yeah, Zero said.
Yeah, but the chick in the first row has to leave the first row.
Keep an eye on MLW. Mark Burnett is over working on Azteca Underground. I would totally expect Cage to leave AEW for MLW when his contract is up. I need to check out that recent episode y'all posted. I haven't checked it out. Did y'all watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I just watched the GIFs and read the article.
What impression did y'all get from it? Because I haven't seen
it. To me, it's hit and miss. They got some good stuff going on, and then they don't. It looks like they try too hard in certain spots, and then in others, it's like, it's
I wish, James, y'all had watched that time last year during the quarantine when Bean and I were binging it, because the commentary team they had at that time, okay? The commentary team, like when the match was like the absolute dog shit, the commentary team were just hilarious. Like they were just hilarious. They made it entertaining just because they were fun to listen to.
I totally agree, Zero. All the LU stuff is the highlight of MLW. I'm sorry, Pedro. Go ahead.
And then the way they were making use of just terrible wrestlers through like vignettes and stuff, and making like stuff, coming up with just funny stuff for these people to do. It was a really enjoyable show. Then they ran out of footage to work with.
Nice.
And there is that whole break, and then they start doing tapings without like a crowd. And they had a new commentary team and new everything, and it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same. Like everything I've seen of it since they came back is not the same. I haven't seen all of it, but the stuff I have seen, it's just not the same.
The LU stuff, the Azteca Underground stuff is entertaining. It's good. It's probably the highlight of the MLW, like Zero said. It's the highlight of MLW.
I gotta see it.
It is. Because the MLW matches itself, again, it's a crapshoot. You get a few good matches, and then the rest you get shit. You're like, what the hell are you doing?
I mean, James, we talked about that one Vice TV special a few weeks ago, and I was shitting on both matches.
Yeah, the fucking Tajiri match. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that drove me up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
They are Zero said they are pretty much resurrecting LU, so I expect a lot more LU alumni to start showing up. According to Conan, Chris DeJoseph is back, so I expect more LU to show up. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Carly Perez was out there with King Muertes, and she had a skull with incense.
Oh,
like one of those. It's like the roll of the sage. One of those sage rolls of incense, and and apparently they've. They have on the website, on the MLW website, they have wrestler bios.
Oh.
And so they actually combined the Mil Muertes into, he actually becomes known as Ricky Banderas.
Really?
Yeah. So, they got like a story for his whole life, but he's still the survivor of that.
Yeah.
They just I think they changed it. It was the meteor that hit.
Kayfabe is alive and well in MLW.
Okay, so I have it up here. It says a destructive force, King Muertes, unleashes the purest vengeance in the world. In 1985, Pascal Mendoza was only 7 years old when one of the biggest earthquakes in history struck Mexico City. Tragically, he lost everything. With death at his door, a Bruja would rescue little Pascal from the underworld's grip of death. Using his hate of the world, she would transform him into King Muertes. A force unlike any other seen in Lucha Libre was born. Over the next several years, King Muertes would manifest himself in different ways. Oh, see, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, they called him Ricky Banderas, where he would claim the IWA Heavyweight Championship 5 times. In Mexico City, he was known as El Mesias, capturing Triple A's Heavyweight Championship 4 times. However, it was in the Boyle Heights neighborhood in Los Angeles where he'd claim capture. Who wrote this? The attention and fear of the world, ruling on his throne. You want to know how they spell throne?
Not really, but go ahead.
They spelled throne as, instead of THRONE, they spelled it as if I've thrown you off the cliff.
Oh God, throne. Once again, spell check is not the same as a grammar check. Put it in word.
But
Put it
yeah,
in
okay, yeah, you're right.
check
So they,
this.
I went to I went to school. SKUL. Brutal.
That's not a real word, though. Throne is a word.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Throne.
Yeah, but I think these people went to that kind of school. You know what I'm saying? It was brutal.
well, it's just funny to see that on a professional website. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? I expect this
It's
from
not
like
anymore because,
forums,
like,
but
dude, like, fucking, you know, there's editorial mess ups in, you know, even big name periodicals and newspapers.
hey,
It sounds like an autocorrect thing too. You know, throne.
amigos, do y'all realize what this means? That this way that they have married
It means good help is hard to find. And look
Ricky
how that bitch
Bandera.
took.
No, the way they've married
Oh.
his Ricky Banderas past with the Lucha Underground storyline.
Yeah.
This means Wrestle Society X is now in the canon.
That's right. Elvis Size. That's right. Because that's where you get the name. That's
Yeah,
right.
remember the whole story with him and
Vampiro. Yeah, he burned his face. Yeah.
Yeah. The exploding.
I'm disfigured. I got one side of the face. I'm the Phantom. Arr.
Now they need to edit it where it's like he had plastic surgery to
Before he went to Bauhaus, he went to 90210 and got plastic surgery.
Zero said MOW is into the 90s era of spelling. Yeah,
I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, let's see how that evolves.
Check it out.
Let's see how that evolves. You know. Let's see how that. You know, I mean, the way Zero's bringing about it, it sounds very optimistic, and you know, sounds interesting. I hope it turns out really well. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I desperately need to watch some good wrestling. I mean, WWE lately has been like, you know, NXT 2.0 is turning into something I really, have no desire to watch. And, you know, I was the biggest NXT fan at one time. And now I'm like, ooh, this shit's starting to suck. You know? I should just watch more Narcos and I'll be happy.
I just jamming on the.
I'm gonna be like Amato. That's all. Fuck everybody. I'm just gonna shoot everybody in the face.
Dang.
He's awesome. He's awesome. He's awesome.
So amigos, wait, let's see. Zero said having Mark Burnett is a huge get for them. He wanted to make LU for even more than 18 million they made season 3 for. If he is willing to spend, we may get LU back. We'll see. I gotta check it out.
Like I said, Zero's being optimistic, and you know what? I am all for that. You know, because I hope it really works out. But only time will tell, man.
I mean, you know, at this point, I'd be happy getting like NWA Power back. Like
I missed that show. That was awesome.
Like, you remember how the wrestling wasn't always great on that show?
No, but it didn't matter. It did because it was fun. It didn't matter.
Was like, but the storylines and then the promos and presentation was fun. Like, I'd be happy just getting that.
And that was a hot crowd.
Yeah, even if the wrestling's not great, I'd be happy just having something fun. But
even Tennessee guy was awesome. Remember him?
Oh yeah, the Santa guy, right?
Yeah.
Amigos, you got anything to plug? Anything going on?
I'll be going back. Unfortunately, it's now 2 days a week now to cardiac rehab. So instead of moving forward, it seems I'm stepping backwards. But as it is with congestive heart failure, all you can do is ride the waves of ups and downs. All you do is stay straight. You keep smiling, thumbs up, get a cold beer in one hand, and body slam somebody in another, and you're good to go. That's it. You just keep chugging forward.
What about you, Zeus? Okay,
Zeus is lost because he's working right now.
that's true. Well,
He's Scholar of the Month, Professor. He's not. He's not super. He's not famous. He's Professor X famous. He's the Professor, Zeus King Dark.
this is just going to become like the theme for the show now.
Isn't it awesome? I tell you, man, that's an awesome theme, man. It's like this. Pedro is plucking on NARC-OUT-MANIA. Zeus is contracting on computers in school. James is just struggling to find a cold beer. And Zero's mom's is always still here. There it goes. We love you, Zero. We love you, buddy. It's actually good to see you in the chat, man.
Yes, it's good to see you again, Zero. You must retort to James.
There you go. Lex Luger has things to plug. It's called James Backdoor. I was wondering where you were. That's my Zero. I'm so happy you're back. Thank you. I want to hug you now.
I did to keep the dogs from howling. They heard you singing.
Oh, okay.
Zeus, did you have anything to plug?
Just I'm doing my new font. I'm making my new font. That's I got to finish drawing out all the upper lowercase letters and the numbers and 3 special characters, and then we're gonna make it all vector art too. So
awesome.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zero. You made me happy.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to.
Trying to think. Let's see. Tuesdays, you got looking at cards. Here on my YouTube channel, Texas Spinner. I don't know what cards I'll be looking at. This past week, I was promoting my postcard art sale that's still going on for this month of November. So
yeah, I haven't had a chance to check that out because I want to get some shit.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I love the way you draw monsters, man. They're fucking unbelievable.
Well, if you like the horror manga stuff, it's all up there. Like,
cool.
So you can get some of that.
There's at least one of them I want.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the melting face one. That's hot.
Yeah, that one's still there. I think I've sold 4 pieces so far. So
okay.
So yeah, there's still plenty there for people to get, and there's different price tiers. So
yeah.
And what else?
Tom's Weird Life, right?
Tom's Weird Life, yes, on Wednesdays.
It's getting even weirder.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting weirder.
Poor Tom.
Trying to think. Thursday's supposed to be the Crap Talk show, but we've had 2 weeks without it because because of things going on in my life, I can't schedule a recording session. So I don't know when the Crap Talk show is going to return. We both want to do the Crap Talk show, so it's just a matter of figuring out,
The Crap Talk show is when Kane's voice box gimmick still lives.
No. Man.
I know, I'm brutal today. I'm sorry, Pedro. I'm sorry, I'm brutal today. I don't know what got into me. I really don't know.
Apparently Amato.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Zeus, I love him, man. I don't know why I love Amato. I love him. He is just 100% ruthless. He doesn't care. He does not care. The only thing he cared about was his daughter dying, remember? That's when he showed any kind of emotion.
Yeah, but he's tried doing, he tried to be like a good, like co-worker, with all the other, the Plaza bosses and.
Yeah, he was trying to help them move forward. Yeah, you're right. He was.
Yeah, and it just all boils down to the issue. It's like, well, if you're not the top dog, I mean, they just proved that if somebody wasn't controlling them and running them all together, making things even, that they were gonna, that shit was just eventually gonna break down and
Yeah.
become, unequitable for,
He's
more.
smart though. He's smart though. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Amato. I don't know what got into me today, fellas. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm just raw dog today.
Oh no, it's good. I'm sorry I
All
keep
good.
jamming on this melody, but yeah. Anyways, God willing, we'll all be here next week. No idea. What we talking about, Marco?
I guess that because I got Zoo in the chat, I got a little excited, you know?
That's right.
They'll be talking more Narcos.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't be surprised if there's more firings to talk
I'm saying.
Telling you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll see y'all next
Well,
week.
maybe we could talk a little tag league too, right? Maybe.
Oh yeah,
Super J?
hopefully, yeah. Shout out to Zero and to Brian Bell for stopping by.
That's right.
Everyone, have a great week. We'll see y'all next week, and adios.
Wash your hands, get vaccinated, and stay safe, everyone.